start with be in a stable position when you do your thing. You don't have to try to take your hand away from them. You want them to have your hand. Let them have it. Do it so that they can hold. Okay? You're inside. The reason being that if I enter on him and I don't get far enough, he can sweep my leg, you know? He can sweep it, and then you can be lost. But when you're in Anya Hadachi, and you do this here, right? Your inside leg is the one that comes up. Because you need the power from this side of your body to be able to help lift, right? So I want to lift him up, like that. And I'm up and down, like that, right? Sometimes it's really hard when you're trying to work in Swarwaza if you stay on a linear track. If you do this and then you turn and you're trying to take a, it can be hard to move on your knees. A very easy way is to get 90-degree angle, bring your knees together, and then come up to the other side. This is an easy way of doing it, right? Like that. So in this situation, when he's here, right, I have a slight angle. I'm going to take a diagonal. I'm going to step. Now I'm going to bring my knees together and pivot up to the other foot here. Then I'm down. Like that. Okay? So you're here. Hold your motion. Here. Together. Grab the hair. And take it down. Okay? Go ahead. So when you're doing this, you know, I'm not getting to this point and bringing my knee in and yanking it here. Okay? I'm following him. So once I get to this spot here, and I come up, I start to apply Shihan. As he goes, I follow. About the time he's down, my knee goes down. Right? That way you're protecting them, and you have better balance. Okay? So again, can you all see this? Everything down there? Up, down, there. Right? Okay? Go ahead. When you're doing that, when you're doing an movement from standing position, you don't want to push your hand over there and go like this, right? And cross the center line of his body. If I do that, I'm breaking your mind and he can hit. Okay? I want to make a circle beside him here, so I step beside him, turn, getting that shoulder away from me so I can't get hit easily. Okay? Same thing should be when you're in Swarwaza. I mean, right? As he comes in, you turn. You're away from that punching. Right? Now I can raise him up and make that same turn and take him down. Don't mix up a mote and a rap. Don't try to take him. I mean, you can. And we see this when we pop somebody up and we take them behind us, right? But it's a little bit of a variation, and it's a little bit of a combination of the two. Either way, I want to push. If I'm moving forward on the first one, I want to push that shoulder away from me as I come up, right? For the Ra, as he comes in, I turn over. I get a diagonal. I might not be able to get 180 degrees. I'm on my knees. It's harder to make this movement and then to go here and then to try to do it again. So use the motion of uke to help you, right? So I'm here, take him down, I pop his shoulder up, I turn, and I'm down. So don't just stand here. Okay, I'm about to start. It will be over anyway. If I do that and let someone grab it, I'm going to get hit immediately. As soon as this is happening, a movement, okay? Then pop them up. And down. So as they come in, doesn't have to be a huge tenkan, but get to the outside. Here, okay? Then raise right up in your center. Take them down. Okay, go ahead. And rock, you know? So we see the extremes of the technique, you know? That's not saying that, you know, it's the only way to do Ichigo is here, right, like that, or, you know, 180-degree turn, or like that, right? There's all sorts of shades in between, you know? I can move in on him that way and take him down. I can just kind of rotate and take him down. I can start to move back a little and take him there. I can move behind him here. So really, we work with the Mote and Ura, but we're working the full spectrum of everything from turning to their back to going in front of them. But that has nothing to do with what we're going to do now. I wanted to go over a couple of things like the testing. So one thing is like for Katamanuchi, there's a difference of how you grab. If he grabs in the front of my collar, you know, it's hard for me to use this hand to defend myself. I have to move here, back this way, and use my other hand. If he grabs on the outside, I can move into him, okay? So for Katamanuchi, when you're attacking, you grab the outside, and then your strike comes in. Here. Don't take a step when you do that. Because then you can kick them, okay? So what's the point? Oh yeah. Don't just stand here and block. If they're stronger than you, you're going to be knocked right over. Get off the line. Here. You're taking a balance. Okay? Notice my feet. Here. I'm a little off the line, right? And for him, like we're going to do Shihan, just let go. We go like this. It's like I'm doing back and forth. He's let go of me. He's not helping me learn, because what I have to be careful of when I do that, if I try to just walk through him, I'm going to get stuck on his arm. I have to go in between here, right? So if you're doing ukemi, first kyu and down tests especially, right? You got to hold on. You got to keep that held on. So let's do this movement. Take a diagonal movement and then move out. Don't take a diagonal movement and stay like this. I'm leaving my center line exposed to him. He can kick me or hit me. You always have to protect, like, you know, you want to protect your eyes, nose, throat, shoulder, his groin. But this center line, you have a lot of soft tissue, right? So you have to be careful of that. So don't think, oh, I'm good, I ain't got it, you know? Because then they can come, all right? Just slide in, resettle yourself. Then make a turn. This time we're going to do Shihan. Down to there. Everybody, hold on, okay? All right, we'll see. I just moved here. So he wants to make sure I can't do that to him. Or hit him, right? So this contact point is hugely important. Now, you know, if he doesn't follow me and he just lets go, well, geez, I can do anything I want, right? Whereas if he's here, then he follows me, and I can also affect his balance in that way because he's pushing against me. But uke has to, you know, protect yourself. You know what? Uke wants to protect themselves at all times in ukemi. Watch how you fall, all those things, of course. But also in the act and in the movement of grabbing, striking, the rest, you have to adjust to what I do, right? So he has to adjust. Here. Okay? Go ahead. Hold on. Okay, we'll shoot your hands. I'm just trying to figure out my feet and where I go. Fine. In the beginning, you get the structure of the technique that way. But once you start to practice more, especially at a higher level, you have to move. So you can't do this either. You can't go here and then just drop this or something and then try to do the technique. You have to lead the person a little, right? So I'm here. I lead by turning my body. I see an opening. That's where I go. Pulling my gi out. Hold on like that. Okay? So do a little Tenkan and that'll give you some space to move. Okay? Go ahead. But one thing to know is when you're doing Henkawaza, this wouldn't be considered Henkawaza. Go here and then switch to Ikkyo and go in. They're all derivative. Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Yankyo, and Gokyo are all one family. Okay? They all start with Ikkyo. Okay? So that's the way you do the technique in the first place, right? The first premier part of this is to come in, then I can make my hand switch, right? But don't try to use that to be Henkawaza. Henkawaza would be where I have to completely change my position. Let's do this like this. If I'm here and he's coming back against me, I can't do something else from this position very easily. So I can slip around, grab here, change my position, and do another technique. But you have to completely change the position that you're in, right? If it was Shihonade, if I was here, I wouldn't want to just go here. He's already strong in that position, right? I couldn't get him here. So I'll move behind him, right? So say you got to change the position. With Taishiwaza, reversals, you want to go with the flow, okay? You don't want to fight against it. I don't want to try to reverse him and then try to go something like that and just change the exact position that we're in, right? You go with the motion. So I go to strike him, he turns, I can come back. Like that, right? I'm receiving the technique. I'm receiving it when I'm turning. Like that. If you're going to do the specific one I just did, you want to keep your hand closer to your back. Here like that's where I place my hand, right? I don't want to leave it out here, then my arm is disconnected from my body. He's got two hands on me, it's hard for me to do something. So here I just pivot with the first movement, right here. Now you drop your elbow and raise your hands, like that. So, take their motion, and pivot this way, and then do Ikkyo back to them. Okay? Why don't you do that? You want partners or groups? I think partners just fluid and easy. Okay? We're trying to go with the motion. Go ahead. I'm not trying to Tenkan in front of you. I'm Tenkaning beside you. Here, right? So it's kind of like that, right? Slowly, this comes in, I strike. I start with him and I step out this way. I could strike him and then back, right? I can go here, like that, right? So you can think there's a counter there just with a strike, right? But just stay flexible, turn, drop that. Once you have that, you have the rest. Okay? Sing. Okay? Feel as if you're going to wrap around the person's back like that. Right? Feel as if you're going to move around them like that. Stay close to them. Okay? Go ahead. Right? It's just that I'm here. Right? So you want to try to get into a solid position. I'm going to make this turn. I want to be solid and balanced, okay? So you're leading them, because you're reversing the technique. Let's say it's ski litigation, right? As a Aishiwaza, he comes here, right? Don't try to stop the technique, Let him push it and move him, right? You're just going to extend out. So what is it, ski, right? So I'm here, let it go. I'm following in the motion of the throw. It feels very natural for me to go in that direction, right? That's a ski. I knew that. So here, I'm going there, but I go behind. Right? So just turn your hand. Turn and open up. It becomes just start to do it. It just starts to be like any kind of a riminaka that you normally do. Right? Just do it out of the ski in reverse. So here. You noticed when that happened, I stepped in. But up here, don't just try to do it and just try to get out from here. Change your position. This helps change my hand. And then I can, I was going to choke you. Okay, go ahead. I want to do kokyu. When you're here, oh boy, that's something. How do you guys please do? We often get into struggling matches with our partners, and it's fun, you know. It's like a whole thing. But really, it's an exercise to be working on extension, getting below somebody's power, rotation, turning. You know, these are elements we use in all of our techniques, you know? It's so fun. You know, like if you're doing more auditory, you know? You know, if I'm going to throw him, I don't just turn here and then just try to throw him. I'm changing his grip. I'm rotating the way I move my arm. My arm twists as I move. This kind of movement we use all the time when we finish throws, you know? It's almost a concave feeling, like this. And these hands turn like this. It changes the way someone's trying to hold you. Same thing happens down here. So, try not to start here. Yes, there's ways to do it when someone has you trapped down. There are ways I can move in. Again, pushing your elbow through into their space kind of thing. But really, my arms should just rock up. They're on a pivot, they just rock up normally. There's a slight bend to my arm anyway. It's not like that. You don't do things like this if you're doing a glass off the shelf. It's not like that, right? You're picking something up, putting it there. You want to be that way, right? So basically what I'm doing is I want to create that shape in my body. I want to create that shape, you know, that kind of shape. And there's a rotation, like I said. There's also a rotation of my spine, right? All I did in that case, my hands stayed relatively where they are. I turned. That affects it. All I did was turn from my spine, right? Now I'm taking it down with one hand and up with another, you know? That's another thing that I'm balancing. That helps take him off there, right? So I'm pushing through there. I put the two together, but if I just stay straight and do it, I'm going into his center too much. Lead the person off. And then you're here. So my thing is my arms are coming forward. I'm letting him grab me. They rotate. Palm up to palm down. That helps raise the shoulders. Same time I do that, I turn from my spine. Same time I do that, I push from my center. And all of that works together. Okay? So think about that. Go ahead, do kokiros. Come on.